back, guys, to another episode of Box Mining. So we have quite a lot packed on the market today. We're seeing the markets showing a little tinge of weakness today. So we have a little bit of red in the past 24 hours. And does this really mean that this whole fun is over? Well, I have a surprisingly different opinion of what's happening on the market right now. We're going to talk about that today. So we're going to do market overview. We have tons of news as well. Like it's flooded by news. This week has been pretty packed. So we're going to do a whole news segment today on Box Mining's live stream. We also have Doge, right? Doge has been number 4 crypto. Well, right now it's number 5 now again. So it's almost there. So yeah, it almost flipped Ripple as the number 4 cryptocurrency in the world. And how am I trading that? I've been aggressively trading it in the past week. I'll tell you guys a little bit of my strategy. And does it involve a lot of buying or selling? Well, yet again, we'll find out in today's edit. I'll outline that entire strategy here and tell a little bit about these cycles, market cycles, mentality cycles going on. Obviously not trading advice, but it's just my trading strategy, so to say the very least. And finally, we have a few updates on what's happening on the cryptocurrency altcoin space that is packed for today's episode. And we'll kind of see, I want to highlight, of course, was this last talk with us on crypto with friends. So you guys know I have a crypto with friends episode with some folks down at this one was pretty good. This one was Nate, Robin, and Matt, and we had both a combination of bears and bulls battling it out, discussing kind of situations. So when I'm bullish or when people are bullish or bearish, I highly recommend that you guys check out this episode. But it's extremely reasonable. Something I found that with both the episode and the setup was that people were very, very reasonable of their expectations. They're all veteran traders. Every one of them has been through a bull and bear cycle. So they know that mentality going forward. They've both been full of euphoria and full of battle scars from 2017. So definitely hear that out. Check out that video. And we're going to kind of continue on that story. My narrative has also changed slightly. And it's a combination of two factors. One is obviously talking with a bunch of people. And some of them bears, some of them bulls. We'll see which side I'm landing on. But also at the same time, we're looking at the market strength at this current point. So we're going to discuss all of that on today's episode. So should we bring the bears out? We got bears coming in. This is from all the way from Christmas. Bears coming in. Are they gonna dominate the market, or should I get my McDonald's hat ready? We've got some props on for today's show. So guys, today's show is gonna be packed. So guys, smash up that likes. If you don't want to wear these hats and flip burgers, smash up those likes. It really does help the channel. It helps you as well, because obviously the bigger our community, the smarter we are. Let's get started and smash the subscribe button, notification bell, all the cool stuff. Let's get started. All right, so let's take a quick look. Let's do all what we always do, take a quick look at the market. So right now, it does seem to be the case that, some red's appearing. Little sprinkle of red on the main cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin's down 2%, Ethereum down 1%. Binance Coin down 4%, Ripple and Doge. So Doge took the biggest hit today, all right? Doge took a giant hit. It's now the number 5 cryptocurrency, even though it was number 4 earlier this week. But it took a big hit today. Obviously, it's been up 70% in the last 7 days. So it depends on which chart you look at, today versus the week, and where and how euphoric you are. So anyways, what's the take on this market? Obviously, it's not a big pullback, and we haven't seen that for a while. But the market is showing us, slow down a bit. That's what the main coins are telling us. Ethereum pushed up quite aggressively. And if you take a look at the charts, right? So Bitcoin's pretty much behaving inside this little box that we drew up earlier. So this is where the resistance for Bitcoin is at $64,000. And this is where the support is, right? We haven't really changed this regime for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin narrative has stayed relatively stable. We know that institutional investors are coming in, and Bitcoin has really fallen out off favor during an altcoin cycle. You guys know that we're in the midst of a very, very strong altcoin season right now. So if you look at the charts or look at the this rainbow chart here, this is my favorite rainbow chart. So this goes all the way from 2020. So this is over a whole year. We've seen a huge altcoin cycle, then a huge Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin season, and now we're in the midst of a very, very strong altcoin season. So in many senses, this is why Bitcoin is staying in its little cage, right? It's right now, the institutional investors are getting in. They're being aware, they're more aware of Bitcoin now, but at the same time, eyes are going over and looking at Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum and friends at this current point, Doge, etc. So you definitely saw ETH, the breakout happened the end of April. So after April, we broke past $2,500 finally, right? Finally broke past that point, and then bam, right? We went on a ride up, and we were trying to figure out, right? Last stream, we were trying to figure out where the resistance for Ethereum is, right? When is it going to stop? And it didn't really look like it's going to stop until $3,400 for Ethereum. So this is where, yet again, Ethereum is Ethereum's moved up a lot. And of course, the other altcoins are also moving a lot today as well. So if you just take a quick glance to, I mean, yes, Dogecoin is down, but you got Quantum, right? Quantum is up basically double, right? This is one of the craziest rides I've seen. We got OMG up, Bitcoin Diamond, right? All these like kind of forgotten coins all the way back from 2017, they seem to be resurrecting from their grave. Ontology's up, EOS is off. EOS is not dead, obviously, apparently. So yeah, we've got VeChain also pushing up today as well with Tezos, AMP. Yeah, definitely a very resurrection-oriented market today. But at the same time, we do have some pullbacks for coins that have moved up aggressively over the past week. So yes, Dogecoin is down, but it's moved up 70% in the past week. Bitcoin Gold, similar story here. Flow just took a little bit of a beating, but you can definitely see that the narrative is very, very much in the altcoin season. But something I do say is that Doge is becoming a very big indicator for me. All right, so in this market, Doge has been becoming an endless indicator. Why? It's because there's infinite amount of social media. If you look at TikTok, you can analyze what's happening on TikTok, and I'm gonna just show you this this stream very quickly. So if you let's see, we got this here. Let's watch a little bit of this rap song here on Doge. Let me get my headphones out. Let's take a quick look at this. Hopefully it's not it's from Reason, but it's done super tastefully and super well. Let's take a play on this. Oh shit. No, it's still audio. All right, guys. My apologies. I can't hear. No one can hear it. All right, let me figure this out. Let's see. Oh, I know why. All right. My bad. My mishap, guys. My mishap. All right, let me get this right. All right, there we go. All right, let's do a replay. So, fail, no sound. All right, apologies. All right, technical difficulties. Too early in the morning. All right, too much Doge. All right, let's take a Boomer Michael is showing. This isn't live, LOL. It says SBS tutorials. Unfortunately, it is live, and unfortunately, we did make that mistake. So, anyways, guys, tech support is here. I got my headphones on. All right, and let's go back. Let's go back to the song. Maybe that's good. All right. Since we want. All right, let's get the music on. Let's go.
CDs are pointless. That's not very funny. What would you like me to do? Put it all in dog money. Dog money. I'm trading it in for dog money. I'm putting it all in dog money. My 401k is now a 401k9. The sum of my net Worth ain't no longer in a straight line. I'm making smart moves, I ain't gonna be a pun. I sold my IRA and bought an NFT of one. All in on Doge, I dish them out like a Tommy gun. You think I was statehood the way I'm passing on Washington? I feel like Matt Gates, you know what I mean? Assuring everybody it's above 18. It's a modern day gold rush, the prices will boom. Like Reggie White versus the Oilers, I'm headed straight to the moon. My broker's calling, you know that it's on. Buy dog money, don't stop till it's dawn. One more airbase, 2 more museums, 3 more walls, 4 more Supremes, 5 more stadiums. We're all out of fiat. Can you take trillions of these and go and make a Xerox? We pay our debts in our currency that might be unfurled if it's no longer the reserve currency of the world. Confidence in the dollar is permanent. Just ask any scholar. People are exchanging their dollars for dog money. Dog money? Dog money. Dog money. We trading it in for dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. I'm putting it all in dog money.
So yeah, so people who are asking, this is on Reason. So man, that was hilarious. I love that. Dog money, man. Dog money. That's the state of the economy, right? I absolutely think it's true. But at the same time, all right. Voice of reason here, voice of reason here. Dog money, that's gonna be a fun trade for a while. So we're gonna talk a little bit about my take on dog money in a sec. There's a lot of trades, so that's been my main trade of this week. It's been super awesome and super, yeah, I'll tell you about that in a quick second when we do the trade updates. But that's kind of the current take on the market, right? We got rap songs coming in about crypto. We got TikTok coming in about crypto. Dog money is number one right now. That is also making me a little bit afraid. Just that little tiny thing. So we'll bring the first bear out. That's the first bear sign you want to see. Number one bear sign. All right. Number one bear sign. That is the dog money videos. All right. So next up, so okay, so how do you take that? How do you take this going forward, right? So if you bring that to reason, it takes me a while to bring myself to reason, but right now there's definitely a lot of excitement going on. There's a lot of people eyeing what is going to happen with Doge, especially as Doge nears the big event that's happening for Doge, which is the SNL skit by Elon Musk. All right, that's going to be the number one event that might drastically change everything. But what I feel like right now is because there's so much social media, like I've been analyzing, you guys probably see me, I've been analyzing TikTok nonstop, and a lot of new people coming into the space, which is great. But at the same time, the amount of real understanding in the space is very, very weak right now. Super, super weak. So that is making me a little bit scared. And we'll tell you my trade strategies in a sec. Let's go very quickly and take a look at the news as well. So let's do a very quick news segment to break everything up and break the pacing up and see what's happening. So first of all, SEC chair. This is the negative news coming in, right? So SEC chair, Congress should consider regulating cryptocurrency exchanges. I think this is bound to happen. We're going to see endless amount of, regulations are coming. This is the new winter is coming of 2021, right? There's just so much going on in crypto that people, because there's so much money being exchanged, right? You definitely see, and also you can see the evidence here as well. We got the other one, the other news that was very, very quick up on Decrypt, which is Square posts earnings surprise, Bitcoin revenue up 11x, right? So on multiple exchanges, we see on Square, we see on Robinhood, we see every merchant, even like Coinbase, obviously, right? All these exchanges that are accepting crypto, their revenues are just shooting up because people are trading this, right? Every time people trade this, exchanges make money. But this also means that Congress wants to, SEC is pushing for Congress to regulate this because obviously they want some of the tax dollars. They want some of the money too, right? It's just only logical to regulate this. And the other reason, obviously, is because if there's too much heat on this, obviously the government always wants to come in and poop on the party a little bit, but also about making sure that people are safe. Don't throw the 401k into everyone. So everything. So definitely expect more regulation to come. Right now, they should, right? They're hints, but who knows if, at what point of time and what sort of regulation is going to come out, Congress always reacts a little bit slow. You know that in crypto, a week is like a month, right? A week is almost like a year sometimes. So if they stall this for 3 or 4 weeks, right, the whole market's going to be completely different by then. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now, we also have some NFT news. You can now buy Banksy with Ethereum or Bitcoin from Sotheby's. That's kind of expected. The whole NFT space is taking off. All these art merchants are realizing, you know what? This NFT thing, we need to get involved. We need to get involved right now. So yes, this is definitely happening. This is where mainstream people understand art a lot more than people understand money, right? So that kind of makes sense. All right, this also comes at no surprise. Goldman Sachs to offer Bitcoin derivatives to Wall Street. Bitcoin derivatives. They said that to the Wall Street report. But like, who is surprised by this? Who is surprised by this? They understand that people want to trade this now, right? Like, Goldman Sachs was not very into crypto 2017. Let's just say that as an underestimate, right? They're on a bunch of banks that call Bitcoin the shadiest things for a long time, but they realize money can be made here. Money can be made here. Let's not let Coinbase and FTX steal our lunch for guys. These institutional investors, they want to trade, right? They want to trade. So yet again, they're jumping in Bitcoin futures. Enjoy. So I think one thing I think this is given that's true, and once Goldman does it, I think every other bank is gonna do it, right? That's the way. Goldman's always early, right? Goldman's always the early one to dump on everyone's faces, and other banks gonna jump in and dump afterwards, right? And then they're gonna report huge losses, right? Remember the whole scandal with the big the big fund that blew up? Goldman was the first one that sold. Remember Goldman? That's the first guy. So Goldman's also the first one to offer a Bitcoin or suggest they're going to offer Bitcoin derivatives, and that's coming at no surprise to us all here. Let's see what else is on the news. This is kind of interesting. DeFi may lead to a paradigm shift, says the Federal Reserve Bank paper. So this is a paper published by Fabian Scholar. So this is very much validating what we've seen in this space, right? Decentralized finance has vastly changed how we looked at traditional finance, right? And this also it's leading to more and more people, including people in the Federal Reserve, and looking at this and saying, you know what, this can offer a more transparent financial system than what we used to have. This is very interesting, right? This is a very different narrative from, say, something like 2018, 2019, where people viewed decentralized finance as like, is that what the new kids are into? Or like, what is this crap? It's never going to work. So now we're having a complete different narrative going on, which is positive, right? And then we have Bitcoin futures, Ethereum futures volume is outpacing Bitcoin's. I mean, that's kind of expected. Bitcoin's stuck in this little cage, right? Why would you want to trade in a cage when you can trade a rocket ship, right? So that's kind of expected coming out of the news. We also have Bitcoin clips 58K as Dogecoin stalls and adoption news fuels new bulls. All right, so it's a drama on the market. All right, and then last bit of let's finish up the news. We got MasterCard survey says 2/3 of millennials increasingly open to crypto. Who would have thought that Dogecoin would have done it? But all these TikTok videos, all these investors they're interested now. They're interested. Like, people are interested, and something that's quite interesting. And being boomer Michael moment, it's like people who are younger have a lot more access to investing, which is amazing, right? They might not make the first right choices, right? But they know they're getting used to this rhythm of investing. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of experience, and getting in early is smart, right? So this is one of the smartest moments of history. People can really easily just even use there's apps that allow you to every time you have change from a store, you can immediately use that to invest. I mean, these interesting concepts are coming in, right, to push people to invest earlier. And I think this is super key. This is something I would have appreciated when I was 20, when I looked a little bit more into investments. When I was 20, I thought, that's what old people do. But anyways, so 2/3 millennials open to crypto. I think this is great. This is going to be the fuel for our next big run up. All right. We also said Bitcoin is coming to hundreds of banks this year, says crypto custody firm NYDIG. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the institutional investors are reacting to, or in the institutions rather, are reacting to Bitcoin very, very aggressively. They really, really want to get on board this wagon because they know people want to trade this, right? That's the power. When people want to trade, right, that's an immediate sign that services are going to get built. And the more services that are built, the more people that can come in. So all of this is super positive, and this is why, yet again, let's move this little bear aside. All right, that's the positive. That's a positive driving factor for everything here. I feel like at this current point, I still feel that in this current point, like we're still here, right? I still believe this. We're still here. We're still in the middle of this bull run, and we could move to this red hot zone here. The red hot zone would be $150,000 for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, I think they can easily hit $10,000 during the maximum bubble, right? The maximum bubble, the maximum hype, the maximum territory, everything. That's gonna be it. But however, that being said, here's my take on this, right? And I'll tell you my Doge trade, and this will kind of key in on why I'm a little bit more cautious and everything that's going on. So let's move quickly to Doge, because Doge, obviously, you guys seen dog money is taking up a lot of activity. And this week, of course, we know Elon Musk is going on SNL. He's hosting SNL this week, and on Friday, what am I doing, Michael? Like Friday, Saturday Night Live is on Saturdays, right? So yes, it's gonna be on Saturday. He's hosting it, and he's confirmed at the Doge overlord is there, right? But however, of course, we know in crypto what happens is people always buy up the rumor and sell the news. So this is exactly what happened, right? So you can see this moving up, right? Like last week, we talked about this on last Friday, all right? We gave you guys 1 week and a bit more. So 1 week and a bit more notice, of course, that Elon is going to do this crazy thing, and everyone just jumped into the bandwagon, and we saw it really mooning on May the 5th. So I did make some fun trades, so I'll show you guys a little bit. I'll zoom in here. So this is really much on May the 2nd and towards the 24th of April, right? So excuse my screenshots. They're really terrible. You guys know. But at the same time, I can't really go around, showing guys my main trading account. So what was my strategy here? So when people don't talk about Doge, I kind of buy it. That's my trading strategy for Doge, and I don't just buy Doge. I buy Doge bull, right? So if I'm going to trade, I might as well go ape on this, right? So what I did was I bought at these 2 main points. You can see these little arrows here. These represents buys, all right? These blue arrows represents buys. At what price? Roughly around 30K. Right. So why is this a lot larger? Why is this number a lot larger? Is because it's a leveraged token, right? We'll talk a little bit about this, but I'll just give you the strategy. It basically reacts, the Doge Bull token reacts to the market at 3 times the market. So if Doge moves up 10%, Doge Bull will react and move up 30%. But at the same time, if Doge moves down 10%, Doge Bull will move down 30% too. So this is a situation where Doge Bull is it's good for trades that you feel like it's gonna have this momentum. So I traded this a little bit earlier in May when people stopped talking about it, and when the whole Elon Musk thing came out, that's when I got into Doge Bull. All right, so that was May, and then towards this push up, right, I did sell here. So you can see the red arrows. You guys see the red arrows here. Oops. All right, you guys see the red arrows. All right, so the red arrows here, that's roughly on the 4th. Okay, that's 4th. That's a few days ago actually. So today being, that was on Tuesday to Wednesday time. I did sell a little bit, taking a little bit of profit, right? Because right now that's at 12K. So entry price 30K going to 12K. That's like, what is that? That is like 4x, almost 4x, right? So I took a little bit of profits, and then of course I missed out on this big one, unfortunately. So this is the other chart. Excuse me for for giving you guys two charts of the same thing. The reason why is because on the newest chart, on the latest chart I had today, I don't have the entry prices in. So you guys use this to see the entry prices, and then this to see the red arrows here to see the sell. So mostly sold on the 4th, and then the other sell is roughly today. So why sell? Why sell? Well, why sell when Elon is meant to go on Saturday Night Live? It's Saturday. It's still Friday over here, or Thursday if you guys are in the States. But why sell now? It's because a lot of times when the event happens, right? When you identify something that everyone is looking at this event to be a big moment, the watershed moment, right? That's going to be where the most of the volatility is going to be. And sometimes it can go drastically down if what's being presented doesn't fill the expectations of the people who are buying up the coin. And we saw that a lot. We saw that a lot in 2017. There was an event, there was a NEO conference, the very first NEO announcement conference that was held in Microsoft headquarters. And that was when NEO took the spotlight. It shot up from $2 to $15, almost $20. And when the event happened, the price just crashed down to 5, and it moved to 10, and it crashed down a little bit more, and it moved up again. A lot of times what happens during the event, because people's expectations are just too high, right? What happens is that they start dumping when their expectations are not met. So this is a situation where I'm like, I don't want to play for Saturday. Saturday will be a time where I don't want to be holding too much positions. So on the rise up, I'm anticipating on the rise up, that's where most of the trading action is. And it did turn out to be that case, right? Right now, so far, this narrative so far. So yeah, so right now I still have around 20% off my original position to see what's happening. But at the same time, 80% of that is now sold, right? That's gone, right? That's where took some profits, right? Took some profits off the market, right? The hype might, when it goes down to Saturday, right? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen in this situation? I mean, last time during the NEO conference, people expected, it was held in Microsoft headquarters. People expected Bill Gates to just pop up from the ground and say, "Oh my God, NEO's the best coin in the world. We're gonna party. We're gonna partner with them endlessly." People had these insane expectations. So yet again, I'm realizing that. I'm realizing that these dog videos are doing a lot to people's brains. So yeah, that's why I'm cooling off a little bit. Same thing goes with the rest of the market. I feel like I kind of expected, so during this trade here, I sold some here, obviously, right? But I expected this run up to be a little bit stronger, to be honest. I saw this run up here. I thought maybe Doge can have some strength. Everyone's talking about $1 Doge, which will lead to almost 400,000 Doge bull. I kind of expected it to go a little bit further still. But yet again, this is where hindsight's 2020. I should have sold more, but whatever, right? So I sold some here. I kind of expected this to move up a little bit more, being stronger towards Friday. But the pullback, I think people are realizing. I think a lot of people are realizing, the hype is a little bit too big at this current point. We'll have to see, like Doge number 4 currency in the world. There's still a lot of issues going on. I'm not trying to FUD it. I'm still holding Doge bull. So don't get me wrong here, but I'm definitely in a position to take profits. The rule that I have at this current point in crypto, which is that I do not short any currency. Anytime I feel like something might go up, I might just buy. And then when it's moved up, I don't ever short, but I do sell my holdings, right? That kind of makes sense. The reason why I don't short is because sometimes when you short and you don't protect yourself, you can end up with racking huge losses, right? Because if the current coin moons, you're totally wrecked. So this is why I have a rule in crypto: don't short. And I think I have a few friends that started shorting when they see the markets moved up too aggressively. They start shorting. They're like, "Oh, I'm smart, the market's super irrational. If it's irrational, I should short because everyone's bullish, right?" But you definitely know markets can stay irrational much longer than you can stay solvent. So this is why I'm not shorting, but I did take some profits off my Doge bull position. Rest of the coins, am I taking profits? Am I not taking profits? I took a little bit of profits on ETH. I think we're moving into that new epoch, and we're moving into that new regime. Who knows if we're going to fall back? We're going to have an opportunity to pick up some coins here. So this is why I took a little bit of profits roughly around here. today and a little bit earlier yesterday. Just around these 2 points. If this is truly where the resistance is, and this is the peak of the resistance, then if as a trader I want to take some profits and then potentially buy back in at a lower point. So that's my current take on everything that's happening on the markets so far. All right, taking a look at the chat. We have some bears in here. We got Mick Howe says, dump everything, dump it all, everything is done. I feel like there is definitely a lot of excitement right now. I feel like this is a situation, right? I mean, if I take a screenshot of this and I'll draw it up here. So let's take a screenshot. I'm trying to use my pen more. I'm trying to learn a few things right now. So all right, so let's throw that onto the throw that here. Let me just paste that here. All right, Bitcoin charts. All right, let's get this zoom this in. Right, so this is obviously the bubble chart, the rainbow chart, which I do look at. For me, what's really important is identifying which point of the cycle we are at, obviously, and how much is too much, right? That's really important for me because yeah, it really helps me decide whether I should buy or sell. In personal strategy, not financial advice. So obviously we can see that we are in this. Is this a bubble phase right now? This is where we are in the rainbow charts. You can definitely see the last 2 cycles, right? This is the 2017 cycle over here, and this is the 2014 cycle over here. And you definitely saw that it moved, very much on this rainbow chart, which is kind of why it worked and why it's working. So do I believe that we can push up here? I mean, if you guys saw me reading the news, there is just so much background work being done at this current point. We see banks saying that they are more open to accepting crypto. We see evidence that millennials want to invest into crypto. We see Goldman Sachs potentially offering Bitcoin futures, right? Bitcoin derivatives trading, right? So we see that. So I definitely believe that we're going to move up in the scale. But however, one thing I want to say quite importantly is that there were a lot of hiccups along the way in 2017. Right, so we had these almost these kind of big fall downs, right, where it did take a while to for the market to recover from a little bit of these dips along the way. This is actually quite different in 2017. Yes, we did have a little bit of a fall here, but this stage has been relatively stable. All right, so I feel like it could be very possible to have another dip, possibly down here, before moving up. Right, I feel like that's very, very possible at this current point, where a dip could be on the horizon. It seems like the number of videos and the amount of TikTok chatter, these are all kind of developments that make the market very, very wonky. People definitely get scared by just the number of rap videos. I feel like rap videos will probably be the biggest indicator, because rap videos take a lot of time to produce, right? So they're big commitments. Smaller videos, sure, whatever, people can take some time. But remember the last time a rap video was released in crypto? That was Ian Bellina's Moon Lambo video, and that was at the peak of the cycle. It was pretty much at the peak, nearing the bottom shoulder of the cycle, right? So rap videos, they're the negative. They're the big bear indicators, right? I'll put another bear up on my screen right here. That's the other big bear indicator. Rap videos coming in, talking about crypto. So it could be possible that we take a little bit of a dip here before moving up. So that's something that I'm mentally preparing myself for. And you definitely see, for me, right, why it's important to prepare for bull, or prepare for bear, rather, is because psychologically you need to brace yourself, right? Surviving through 2017, these giant dips, there are times when during a dip you're really contemplating life. It's one of the points where oh my God, I just watched 20%, 30% of my net worth vanish in a day, right? Or in a few hours. And it's one of those situations that's extremely brutal. We survived through multiple situations, but for me, it's just I'm bracing myself for that at this current point. So I guess I guess Rob, you're right. You turned me a little bit bearish. I can't believe it. I think a little bit more bearish, a little bit more cautious. Am I bearish? Not really. I feel like, I definitely feel like we can go up here, but I'm bracing myself. Like I definitely feel like we can go up here to 150, 150 to 300K. But at the same time, I think, yeah, Rob, you are the voice of reason. Rob was on my channel last time. He said he's the voice of reason. I think there's a certain amount of reason in preparing for mentally bracing yourself for a potential fall, but then again bracing yourself for a very strong bull after that. So that's my two cents. There. All right. Box fam says why. All right, let's go on. So that's kind of my take on the whole entire market. Let's take a look at the altcoin space and everything that is going on. You definitely guys know that we're still in the middle of the super long altcoin season where I think there's still some strength left, right? If you look at the last season for alts, right? So, we're in the middle of this alt season. The last alt season lasted from the 9th of August to the 14th of September, right? So that was a month and 4 days. But if you look at how, taking the crossing the line here, right? But if you look at us now, we've been in this, altcoin season all the way since the 25th of March, right? So we're all the way in May right now. We're still not seeing the end of this cycle. I feel like this is a situation when, when markets move up, everything lasts a little bit longer. So this altcoin cycle could last, for me, right? I personally think this could last 6-7 months, but there might be a dip in between. That could be possible. So if you look all the way back in 2017, that was kind of the case, right? Actually, it doesn't show the full graph, but yeah, 2017-ish, it was very violent. And I think that could be the violence. I definitely want to zoom back a little bit more, but anyways, this chart really does not show that. But yeah, 2017 had times when people felt like it was going to go to zero before the true run up happened. So anyways, yep, that's my take. All right. A few updates I do want to point you guys to. All right, so we're going to cover two main discussions here in the altcoin segment that I prepare for you guys. One is a huge trading tip, right? So this is one that you don't want to miss out on. I know that there are substantial changes right now happening in the decentralized finance trading space. So one happening with Uniswap, there's a migration to version 3 right now that's ongoing. And I'll tell you a little bit about what this migration entails and how it will affect all your trades. Right. The second thing that I do want to cover, and is still also a little bit related as well, there's also a very similar migration that happened between PancakeSwap on Binance Smart Chain and PancakeSwap V2. So on Binance Smart Chain, if you're trading on Binance Smart Chain, you're going to see the difference between PancakeSwap V1 and V2. And then on Ethereum, you're going to see a change between Uniswap V2 and V3. Right, so these are very, very big changes that are coming along, and it's going to affect how you trade and your rates for your trades. And I have optimization that I've been using for the last 2 weeks that really helps you get the best rate for your trade. So we'll talk about that. We'll do a little bit tutorial in this session. We'll also talk a little bit about what's happening on the altcoin side and what I've been looking at. So first and foremost, something I've been talking a lot to Jeff about, and guys, I'm excited for, is with Trustswap. They're creating something called the Mint. All right, so Mint video is coming out. They're almost on their way to completion of announcing the Mint feature. What that does is it allows anyone to create their own token, and this is both for projects and for people. But a lot of times, projects right now, a lot of projects are launching their own coin offerings. The problem that they have is, of course, when they create the token, they need to establish trust, right? They need to tell people, okay, look, we have a liquidity lock and we have the founders locking in their token. Now, what Trustswap is doing with Mint is there's a one-click process, which is allowing people to do that automatically. And the more that we know about this, and why I'm telling you guys about this is something that we should have, because if you look at the platform right now as is, and you can look at any coin, what you'll see is you can see when next coins are coming out, like when the next unlock for the founders are, right? And then at the same time, when so they have a lockdown, like you click on anything, you know when the locks are coming and when the lock liquidity is. So this provides a lot of safety and a lot of transparency for what's going on. So Trust is launching this mint, which is going to do that with one click. It's going to be free, but free to use, but it does cost 0.5% of the coin supply. 1% of that, 0.1% of that goes to the Trustswap team, and 0.4, which is 4 times more than everything else, 0.4% of that goes to the community as well. So that's going to be the big upside for Trustswap coming soon. It's going to be both for the community and for people in the space. And why it's important is because it's going to give people a lot more trust in the space to know when the unlocks are coming, when the founders are coming, so they don't dump on your face. So that's coming up very soon. They already hinted that around 4 hours ago. This is a screenshot for everything that's happening. So 5 hours ago now, that's coming up very, very soon. So once that's out, I'll definitely tell you guys about that. We also have Pinknode. So Pinknode is my main research for this week. So what they're doing is, you guys all know that Polkadot narrative is coming and the Cosmos narrative is coming, and both of these two chains, or both of these two concepts, I would say, these protocols allow you to build other protocols too. So that's kind of crazy, right? So anything that's launching on Polkadot or launching their own, Polkadot allows people to launch their own chain, right? Which is kind of the most powerful aspect about Polkadot. So they say, okay, instead of scaling one chain, we'll let you build your own chain. How about that, using something called Substrate? So that's great and all, but that also creates a situation where there's going to be a lot of chains, a lot of chains. So what Pinknode does is it offers the tools necessary for developers to both link these chains up and make their chains more full. So that's kind of the interesting value here. It's kind of a situation where having this new concept of multi-chains as part of an ecosystem, like the Polkadot ecosystem or the Cosmos ecosystem, and introduces more management, which is what Pinknode kind of does. So anyways, that's my latest research for this week. It's Pinknode is doing their IDO on Polka Starter, so that's going to come up so it's going to be on the 14th of May, which is in a week's time from now. So yeah, that's kind of where my research is at this current point of time. Now, talking about the big thing I was talking about to you guys earlier, which is with Uniswap 2.0 or 3.0. So what's happening? So Uniswap 3.0 has officially launched. So it's already a very different interface. So if you guys have been trading on Uniswap recently, you'll notice that right now the interface looks very different, right? You can definitely see there's a new button here. The whole screen is different, and a new button says get a better price on V2. So what exactly is happening? So this is a very, very big transition. It's releasing a new version of Uniswap. It has a lot of new features, but the issue here is that to migrate to V3, it's a manual process, right? And I think there's going to be a lot of scammers along the way. Wait for the tutorial. But the gist of it right now is that the new version that's coming out has more features, right? Especially when it comes to setting a trading range. I think the biggest power of Uniswap 3.0 is that you can define the range where your liquidity is deployed. So this means that you can have tighter trades, and it's especially powerful for something like stablecoin trades, where if the range is around $1, right? Let's say from USDC to USDT, these are both stablecoins. These are both approximately supposed to be worth $1, right? The trading range is very narrow. So Uniswap usually deploys capital in a very big curve, but with V3, you can compress that curve, make it very narrow, have more liquidity there, which also is great for anyone that's involved, right? So it reduces the volatility, it makes it function a little bit more like curve, but at the same time, it also gives people more profits for trading because their capital is being used. So this is some very powerful features, and it can be used and deployed on the back end in a very powerful way. So even though the interface, it's still the same buttons, back end, backside, there's a lot of upgrades. But that being said, now that there's two markets, right, you can see that you can click this button here and you can see that you can get better rates on for something. So let's say this is a very easy trade. Like say I'm just going to spend 1 Ether to buy Uni. So right now you can see that the rate that's coming out being quoted on V3 is I can get 86 Uni for 1 ETH. But on V2, because there's a little bit more liquidity there, I actually get almost 1 extra Uni for that trade. So this is something that will affect everyone. You guys will have to switch back and forth to look at where you can get the best rates right now for your trades. So this is going to impact everyone trading in crypto right now. So if you're buying or selling on Uniswap, you have to look for where you're going to get the better rate, either on V2 or V3. So this is the kind of the awkward period, right? This isn't going to last forever. When we migrated from V1 to V2, eventually most of that migration was complete. It takes a little bit of time, but they're in this awkward phase, right? During this, it's kind of like a molting season, right? This is where, we change our coats. That's molting, the first being changed, but it takes a little bit of time, right? So this is why right now, if you're using Uniswap, you got to be careful. Make sure you check which rate is better. Obviously, 87 uni is better than 86.5 uni, right? So make sure you get the best trade. Now, there is a strategy to this, right? So the strategy around this, the better strategy, instead of checking it manually, is to use 1 inch. Right, so 1 inch exchange gives you an even better rate. So look at this right now. So you guys probably see the best rate on Uniswap right now gives you 187 uni for the price of 1 ETH. But on 1 inch exchange, what happens is that you get an even better rate. You get an 87.8 rate. Why does that happen? Because it routes it through there's different routing systems at which you can get this rate from, right? So it combines different liquidity, and it aggregates coins together. So this is where 1 inch becomes very powerful, because a lot of times, it depends on the coin that you're playing around with, but a lot of times it can use, right, multiple. So maybe you can go AVA. I know AVE. It uses multiple exchanges to do this. The most present one, I think, was Sake. So you guys probably know that they're talking about Sake endlessly in Genesis Block Ventures, but it chooses different routing, right? And sometimes it routes it through different protocols. So, like, say for example, this one, they'll route through Sake Swap and Uniswap to get the best trade, and you can see the best rate. So this is one of the strategies that I'm using right now to trade, and it really does help you. I'm not trying to push this too heavily, but I felt like this is the smart thing to do at this current point. And the same thing applies for Binance as well. If you're on a Binance Chain mainnet, what happens is that because there is a split of liquidity between PancakeSwap 1.0 and PancakeSwap 2.0, what happens is that, so you can switch to Binance Chain right here. Let me just give me 1 second. I'm buying a smart chain. All right, so the strategy here is sometimes when you're trading, it depends on what you're trading, but sometimes if it's split between different cryptocurrencies, right, you definitely want different routes. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if this example works. So yeah, so this is going through PancakeSwap V2, but if there's liquidity in V1 and V2, then it can split the liquidity up and give you a much better rate. So for me, that really matters a lot, because I always want to get the best rate for every trade. I mean, if you're losing like 4 or 5% of your trade every time, like you're trading, to slippage or whatnot, that's not very helpful. So hope this helps. Yeah, that's an advanced strategy of this week that I'm deploying right now. So it works on both BSC mainnet and on Ethereum, and it's relatively helpful. So the only drawback I would say, and not the only, but the pretty big drawback I would say here is that you do have you have two options here, and this is quite important. This is quite important for Ethereum. Let me just switch back to the Ethereum one over here. So on Ethereum, the fee is more if you use 1 inch exchange. All right, so that just flat out, because the routing, especially if they're routing through multiple exchanges, right, it will be more fees. All right, so that's just a given at this current point. So let's say you want to buy some PMON, right? You want to buy some PMON. You can see that the fee here, the estimated fee is around $56 because it's routing through two exchanges. It's going through two exchanges. It costs more gas to do so. So that's one thing to definitely watch out for, right? So you have to see like at what the amount you save, does it equal or does it is it better than the fee? So you definitely have to do a little bit of comparison. It's not fully automated. Sometimes just trading on Uniswap is better. Sometimes trading here is better. You have to compare the fee versus the extra amount of gains you get, the better rate, and see which one is better. Typically speaking, if you're trading larger quantities, it is better to Like if you save like $25,000 here, like this is just ridiculous, right? But if you save more money here, then obviously the other one goes. All right. There we go. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's Miguel Azar says like also the cost of fee to change to V3 is massive. That is true. Yeah, it is. So yeah, it does take a little bit of optimization to go between these two aspects here. All right, so let's do some Q&A. So I have some talk about Hudson says, what the hell is TrueBit? I don't think I was in TrueBit. I don't know what TrueBit is. There was TrueFi. TrueBit, I don't think I was ever talked about that. So unfortunately, this seemed to be, I don't know. Not there. I think TrueFi was the one we talked about. It was the ape of the week from the ape teams there. We have some questions. Tommy M says 1-inch mooning soon. Yeah, 1-inch is like, I actually think like if you want to talk about 1-inch, it's like right now it is the most useful time to use 1-inch, just because of that liquidity difference. I found it pretty useful there. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Ronnie Ray says, I heard a radio advertisement for 1-inch the other day. That's crazy. Where do you live? Like, that's insane. I would love to hear a radio ad for 1-inch. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for today's video. We pretty much covered everything here. I hope you guys liked the mini tip. I'll probably cover this in more detail right now because the current situation with 1-inch, not 1-inch, Uniswap it's quite messy going to V3. So I'll probably do a video about V3 coming up and the strategies around it. So if you guys are interested, and if you guys have any questions, right? So if you have questions of what I said just now, if you don't understand anything, leave them in the comment section below. That will really help with the video too. And that'll answer your questions too. So why not, right? Two birds with one stone. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I also want to do one last shout out to How Do I. They have got Tyson Fury coming on. So if you guys want to find out a little bit more about How Do I, we had an episode with Crypto and Friends where Matt does talk a little bit about How Do I. It's an NFT thing. They basically have Tyson Fury coming in. It's gonna be quite fun. This is gonna be the next this is the NFT thing, right? This is the craze. I think a lot of people are gonna. I think there's so many ways that people are going to get into crypto these days. So whilst, right now it might seem like I'm a little bit bearish on the overall markets, I feel like this is the next wave that's going to bring, the big push up. So anyways, that's pretty much it. So have a great weekend, guys. Hope you guys aren't too exhausted. Rob says clap, clap, clap. Thank you guys, Rob. Thank you, Rob, for making me bearish, actually. It's horrific. It's horrific. It's a very unpleasant experience. So thank you for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. By appreciate, I mean I don't appreciate it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching it today's episode. We'll see you guys later on the next one, and hope you guys stay tuned for both box mining live streams and Crypto and Friends. We're gonna have a lot coming up. So yeah, have fun. Have a great weekend, guys. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the box mining announcements channel. So this is to announce you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on a day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.